I Don't Work Here Lady, Episode 3. A totally avoidable I Don't Work Here story. My husband and I went to a cooking class this weekend and a local grocery store. We've been before, so we know the drill at this location. You check in, grab an apron and name tag. Then you grab a cup and can go get free soda, tea or coffee. So we're in the restaurant portion of the store waiting in line at the soda machine. They have a yummy blueberry soda. We don't normally drink soda, but that stuff is amazing. It tastes even better with vodka. The lady in front of us, we'll call her Sheila, was standing there sort of looking at the machine. Then she turns around and this happens. Sheila, to my husband, the root beer is empty. My husband, oh, that's too bad. The blueberry soda is really good. Sheila, my son isn't going to want that. He wants root beer. Husband, oh, well, maybe the other machine has it. He points at the other machine. Now at this point, she's looking at him like, aren't you going to fill it? And my husband is smiling and probably wondering why he can't get to the soda machine. She's just looking at him, wondering why he's not jumping into soda machine action. He's standing there smiling, thinking, soda. At that point I realized, oh crap. We're wearing aprons and name tags, so I told her, sorry, we don't work here. We're taking a cooking class down the hall. And then I pointed at the cooking school sign. She just sort of laughed and said, oh, okay. Got it. Have fun. When we got back into class, we told the instructor what happened and he laughed. As the others were coming in, he'd say, go get your drink, but if you wear your apron and name tag, someone is going to think you work here. So a pretty mild, I don't work here, lady, totally preventable and kind of our fault. I think my husband is still wondering exactly what happened. We got our blueberry soda though, so it's all good. No idea if her son got his root beer, smiley face. I work here, but not in the position you think I'm in. So, backstory. I work taking care of developmentally disabled adults, helping them do very simple tasks and making sure they do basic things, eating, having their diapers changed, making sure there's a fresh episode of Barney on EB Day, without issue. We call our disabled clients consumers. I love all of them aside from a few, but I digress. On occasion, I am mistaken for a consumer for no apparent reason. Yes, I'm a high-functioning autistic, but I have a college degree, most of the other staff don't, and the consumers are about as smart as anywhere from toddlers to second graders, with ages ranging from 40 to 75. I'm 22 but look roughly 16 to 18. I'm running van duty, which is essentially waiting for a van to pull up, asking who they are here to get, and getting that consumer on the van. A company van pulls up, driven by a woman I don't recognize. Me equals me, BD equals van driver. Me, asterisk, gets out of chair, moves to the glass door, waving asterisk. BD, shakes head no. Me, asterisk, leans on push door, slowly opening it asterisk. BD, shaking intensifies. Me, props the door open so it won't lock me out. BD, rolls down the window, you need to go back inside, I'm not here for you. Me, confused, I know. I can drive myself home. Who are you here to pick up so I can go get them? At this point, her face goes pale, AMD shocked, and it occurs to me she thought I was one of the consumers trying to get out, since I hadn't spoken until then and most of the consumers are nonverbal. BD, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were one of the new consumers. I'm here for an LT, name and GT. I'm so sorry. She apologized a few more times while I brought the consumer out, but at the end of the day I still felt a little insulted. Please, Reddit, let this be a lesson. Never assume someone's intelligence just because of your own assumptions. The driver always remembers my name now, and is always very polite to me. Entitled Theater Goers Demand I Open the Doors. Just for a little context, I'm a university student staying in accommodation in the city. Round the corner is a popular theater, with people coming in from several counties away to see the shows. My university has named its buildings after notable features people, and mine is named after the theater. Back at the start of the academic year, the Students' Union kindly handed out free t-shirts in different colors with the building names on the front, as well as all the events they were putting on for Freshers Week on the back. Not particularly good quality t-shirts, but helpful on nights out when making friends, as you could spot students from a mile away. People stopped wearing the shirts out when freshers ended, but some still use them to go to the gym, or in intramural sports. Skip to last week, when I finally got mine back out of the wardrobe. I needed to go to the shop across the courtyard before it closed, so I shoved on the t-shirt, a pair of joggers and my sliders. Not the best look, but I was only going to be 5 minutes and it was definitely better than walking across in my pajamas. I managed to get in and out the shop, no trouble, but then I encountered Tiffany. Tiffany was your standard Karen personality, but in a fancy get-up and posh accent. She saw the building name on my shirt, and wandered over. "Excuse me, when are the doors going to be opened?" "Sorry, what do you mean?" "For the show. There's a lot of annoyed people outside waiting." "I don't know, I don't work at the theater." "Yes you do. You have the shirt." At this point I realized her mistake. To be fair, for someone not from the area, it's an easy one to make. Whilst this was happening, 2 more people came over who were in the same group as Tiffany. We'll call them Jasper, pronounced Jar Sper, also posh, and Anne, who looked so done with Tiffany's bullshit. "Jasper, what's going on?" "Tiffany, this girl won't open the doors." Jasper, turning to me, "And why not?" "Me, I don't work at the theater, I'm a student." Jasper, "But you have the shirt on, so you clearly work there, student or not." Me, pointing to a large orange sign, "No, I just live in the building named after the theater. This shirt was free from the uni." Anne lets out a small sigh and says, "She's a student. She lives in that building. She doesn't work at the theater. The staff there wear black collared shirts and trousers, not gym wear." Jasper, "Oh, well then." The queue was growing and Jasper suggested getting back in line with the others, so they didn't have to wait outside much longer. Anne agreed, coaxing a still very irritated Tiffany away, before turning back and mouthing, "Sorry, should have just gone in my pajamas. I don't work here, but I don't mind shopping with you on mobile, so sorry for formatting and such. I know that this sub is mostly here for the drama, but I just thought people might enjoy something a little more lighthearted. So this happened about a week ago. I was shopping in a store known for its red shirts and khaki pants, which I just so happened to wearing something similar. Not an exact match, but close enough. I know, I was asking for it, and also for some reason, Pizza Putz is always in the little food court area. I had about an hour to kill before I had to go to a family event. So I was mostly there just looking around. And I wanted to buy a little snack, but I also really didn't want pizza. This particular store I was in has the normal shopping side with clothes and whatnot. And then the grocery side. I feel like all of them are like this now, IDK. You know, like a super red shirts, not just normal red shirts. So I went over to the grocery side and went into the snack aisle. I was just looking at all the glorious snacks and I noticed that a few boxes were askew. So I just took a second to face them, turning the merchandise so that the label is facing the customer. Retail training dies hard, I guess. As I'm doing this, I hear a little old lady clear her throat, but in a very quiet, I don't want to be a bother kind of way. Cast finally. Saul, sweet old lady. Me. C, cashier. Saul, lightly clears throat. Excuse me, if it isn't too much trouble, would you tell me where the tomato paste is? Realizing she's talking to me, oh I'm sorry, I don't work here. Saul, oh I'm terribly sorry, excuse me. She turns to walk away. But I can show you where they are if you want. I shop here all the time. Saul, oh, thank you so much. I then take Saul to the aisle with the tomato paste, trying hard not to walk too fast and leave her behind. She was very grateful and then asked me if I knew where another item on her list was. I don't remember what the other items were. Saul, thank you for your help, dear. Do you happen to know where insert item here is? Yeah, it's just a few aisles over. Would you like me to take you there? Saul, no thank you dear, I have taken enough of your time. Are you sure? I still have a lot of time before I have to be anywhere. C's grocery list in her hands. I wouldn't mind looking at you list and, at least, telling you where you can find the items, or at least the ones I know for sure. Sol, thank you, that would be very nice of you, young lady. I took a look at her list and ended up taking her to all the items I knew for sure where they were. And for the ones I didn't, we just browsed up and down the aisles until we had all of her items. I ended up going to check out with her. And she bought the chips and nuts that I was going to buy myself for me. C. Making small talk. Are we out for the day with our granddaughter? Referring to me. Sol. Yes, we are. We needed some snacks, and a few other things. C. That's great. Asterisk hands me bags that I put into Sol's basket. Except for my chips and nuts. Asterisk have a great day. M and Amp. Sol, thank you. We ended up parting ways in the parking lot, where she then again thanked me for helping her so much. I told her it was no problem and I was happy to do it. And on the plus side, I went to my family gathering with free chips and nuts, so there's that. TLDR, sweet old lady mistakes me for an employee, and I end up grocery shopping with her. And she buys me a bag of chips and some nuts. An oh so Canadian IDWHL. Hello, happy internet people. This happened just a couple of months ago and still makes me smile. I was shopping in the big blue store we shall now call Malfart. I had been there a while and was just grabbing the last thing on my list. Spoons. I needed new spoons, so I wandered over to the spoon aisle and after dithering for a few minutes, picked the ones I wanted. I wandered on down the aisle and was looking at other kitcheny stuff when I noticed a family with an elderly man in a wheelchair come down from the other end. They were looking at the tea kettles and talking quietly. Each one was picked up, shown to the gentleman and rejected. Finally one of them turned to me and asked, "Are these all the kettles?" Me, "Oh gosh, I am not sure, but I think so." Lady, "None of these will do at all," looking very frustrated and disappointed. Me, coming over to them, "What kind are you needing?" Lady, "A simple one that sits on the stove and is easy to pour for my dad." Gestures to the gentleman. Me, "Oh all of these are plug-in, no good huh? My dad has a stove one but I am not sure where he got it, lemme think. Ya know, name's a famous national grocery chain that also sells clothes and housewares, they have kettles. But before going there, if you don't mind something second-hand, the charity store run by all the churches in town is right down the road. They might have one too." Lady, "Oh, thank you." The gentleman smiled and nodded to me and wished me a nice day. Along with the rest of the family. It really made my day. I hope they found their kettle. Apparently wearing a lanyard means you instantly work somewhere. Some backstory here. I'm a 15-year-old. I keep all my keys and transit fare cards, ID on a lanyard around my neck. I wear it all the time because it's super convenient. It's got some random other things on it like a USB drive etc. Nearly every time I walk into a retail store, I now get asked where things are. People assume I work there. Just because I am wearing a lanyard. Below is a list I have compiled of places I have been stopped and asked where something was or whether I worked there and how many times it's happened within the past few months that I can remember. Sears X2, Apple Store, Best Buy X3, Ace Hardware X3, The Container Store, Amtrak Train, Target, Bed Bath & Amp, Beyond, Verizon Wireless, Whole Foods. And the weirdest one yet, I walked onto an airplane and the flight attendant thought I was a crew member. I posted about a single incident of this a few months ago and someone linked me to a lanyard that said, "I don't work here," on it, and I bought it. If anything, it has gotten worse since then. Go figure. But I thought I'd share this list because you guys would enjoy it. Old guy asks about bikes. On mobile, first post here, blah, blah, blah. Also not some crazy story with management or anything. So, my girlfriend and I were at that popular store, wall store, I know, very original, we were just messing around in there, because what else are two 17-year-olds supposed to do? And we are back in the bike section. I ended up going down another aisle and she for whatever reason decided to hide in the bikes. I came back and found her very easily, as she was wearing a bright multi-colored hoodie. This one old guy comes up to me and asks, "Do y'all have any fat tired, insert animal, brand bikes?" I'm over here thinking to myself, finally an IDWHL story. I reply, "Sorry sir, I don't actually work here, but I'm sure if you haven't spotted any then they probably don't have them here. But, you could probably find them at these other bike stores." He just thanks me and we start talking about bikes. Very short story, lol. TLDR, old guy asks me if store has kind of bike he wants. I list off other stores that might have them and tell him I don't work there. There's never anyone working in that area, so I'll just grab someone who doesn't work in that area. This happened yesterday. So I work at a place called Warner's and Amp, HomeSmart, but I'm only trained for the Warner's side. I was doing the recovery from the front line to put back things that were returned when this woman, I'll call Susan, approached me and asked if I knew where the anti-slip shelf liners were. Me, oh, it should be in the gourmet section on HomeSmart side. Susan, I couldn't find anyone who works in that area for hours, likely an exaggeration. Shouldn't you know where it is? Me, well, I work in the Warner's side so I'm not sure myself, and we are fairly busy and understaffed today, so sorry about that. Susan, if you don't know then how do you expect customers to know where they are? I relented and went over to the HomeSmart side of the store and pretty much looked around for it until I found it for her. Didn't have much of a selection of those liners. And I left her as soon as I could. Our motto is pretty much, the thrill of the hunt too. Susan's lazy, short and uneventful, but we still got a laugh after he left. I was doing some cabling in a certain blue store yesterday when a customer came in. He completely walked past the TLE manager, who tried to intercept him, and right to me, in my Alice Cooper t-shirt and visitor badge, to ask if we sold wheelbarrow rims. I just pointed at the manager he ignored and said him, or the associate in the blue company vest beside him would know, and went on with my day. The customer got kinda red and started bumbling to the employees who were quick to tell him they don't have those rims. I work at a shop in the mall, but not for the mall. This literally just happened. I work at a movie theater in the mall in my city. I'm not from this area, and although I've lived here for a little while now, I'm still not familiar with every single store in the mall. My uniform consists of a black ugly oversized polo and jeans. The mall uniforms are usually identifiable depending on what position, but none of them look like mine. So anyways, I leave my theater to run to the food court to get food. I'm walking past some beauty store when this woman stops me. Her, you work at the mall, right? Me, oh, I work at the theater, not the mall. Her, okay, well, can you tell me where different beauty store is? Me, I'm sorry, I honestly don't know if there's even one here. Her, it said it on the directory, where is it? Me, I'm sorry, I really don't know. Her, then where's section D of this mall? Me, ma'am, I really don't know, I'm sorry. Her, okay, you know what, whatever, thanks. It says my theater's name on my uniform in big letters, my name tag says my theater. Why would you stop me as I'm rushing through the mall?